Hey, I'm Bubba.
And I'm John.
We use our questionable and sometimes traumatic childhood experiences to hopefully become better parents.
We might not succeed,
but listen,
they're fine. I think we originally wanted to do this podcast because we're like, we both have a ton of stories. We've been friends for a long time. We keep telling each other these stories from our past that we've never told each other before, which is funny because you would think we'd know all the stories from each other by now.
Yeah.
But then as we were starting to do that, we realized most of our stories now are about our children, right? But everything we talk about now like seems to be revolved around like parenting, and these kids did this today, or, oh man, this shit happened to me yesterday with the kids, right? So it feels like a lot of our anecdotes and stories and the way we communicate with each other now revolves around children a lot.
But probably also rectifying our white trash pasts.
That is true. Yeah. We're different species of white trash past.
But we both kind of grew up in what I would describe is a level of parental neglect that rivals 1940s Hell's Kitchen. You know?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'd also say I've known you for over 20 years now, and I don't know anything about you.
No.
You're like China. Like the more I read and the more I learn, the less I understand.
I feel like you know very specific anecdotes, but I don't know if you feel like you have a whole picture.
Yeah, but
right?
Unlike my wife is like, she'd be like, John's from here. He was born this year. These are his parents' names. This is what his birthday is. Here's how many siblings.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I don't know where he's from.
Sure.
I've never met his family. And she'd be like, you've met them multiple times. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, huh.
So is the point of this to document information about me so you have something to reference?
But the difference though is you know so much about me.
Yes.
You got me a squatty potty for Christmas.
I did.
You are the best gift giver because you listened to me randomly say like, I have trouble pooping or whatever. And you got me a squatty potty. I use it every single day.
I'm good at gift giving.
You're very good at gift giving.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think you tell a lot of funny stories. And so I kind of let you rant a lot, right? In our relationship, I feel like you definitely speak more and I listen, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times there's a story you want to tell or reflect and I listen and I chime in. So a lot of times our relationship is you speaking and me listening to your story.
Because my wife won't let me speak.
Sure. So you come to me.
But I also think you're a lot more orderly than me, especially in the parenting world. Like even scheduling this, you're like 6:58. The kids are down in bed. It's final.
Sure.
Whereas I'm like, it's 11 o'clock and I'm like, I should have got their milk, you know?
Yeah. I think that's an interesting point, right? To like, as we talk about what this show is we've been friends for a very long time. We're both parents. We both have two kids that aren't that far apart in age.
Yeah.
But we parent, even though we're very similar in many ways, we parent very differently, right? Catherine and I are very regimented in like our parenting routine, right? I don't think we're strict at all. I mean, but I do think we're very scheduled. Everything's like very like, okay, this happens at this time. This happens at that time.
You guys schedule your sex.
We do.
I mean, it's crazy.
It happens on Saturday between 2 to 3 p.m.
2 to 2:04 p.m.
Yeah, 2 to 2:15. And on Wednesdays, if everything goes just right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I do think we parent very differently. And I don't think, we've talked about this before. I don't think either one's right or wrong. Quite honestly, I think it's just whatever works for you, right? Like we were raised differently. We have different parenting styles and techniques, and we've kind of found what's worked for us, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's obviously like two active dads. You're more active than me. There are dad podcasts, but I don't think we wanted to be like brand it as like, this is about being a dad, because it's also really about outrunning your trash upbringing, and getting into the sordid lives that we've had of, we both been married before. We both lived in Santa Barbara. We both lived in Chicago.
Sure.
There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the title has multiple meanings, right? Listen, they're fine. We're talking about us, not the children, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the kids, it's also plays, it's double meaning. Listen, the kids are fine. But also, like, listen, they're fine. The guys are going to be all right.
I mean, I literally said, listen, they're fine to Jenna because I had I've got two kids, Maggie and Henry. Henry's 4, Maggie is 6. I had one of them for spring break 1 week, one for the next week.
Yeah, these
and then Jenna went on a
breaks.
girls trip for 5 days.
After
5 nights.
both spring breaks were over. Yeah.
And mind you, like, I'm working at night with the exception of when she was out of town. And it got to the point of, like, I had a serious emotional breakdown. And I mean, I was like going through, like, I got hit with the grief of my dad was coming up and stuff. And the kids were just being so, I don't know if people still say incorrigible anymore.
It's good. You should
Maybe
bring it
it's a
back.
cartoon word. You're incorrigible.
Yeah.
But they were just like, they wouldn't stop,
Mm-hmm.
And I had a full on breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
I was sobbing.
Oh.
To the point that I was like sobbing about my dad, and they were just being such jerks, the kids.
This was like 3 p.m. on a Wednesday.
No, it was like 8:00 at night.
Oh,
But
okay.
It was like it built. And I had like such a breakdown about my dad, and I was just like, he worked so hard, like, to give me this life that I'm trying to give you, and you guys are just being such assholes about, name anything.
Sure,
Henry
yeah.
got all these presents for his birthday, and he was like, I was like, clean up your trains, and he was like, no, and I was like, if you don't clean these up, I'm taking them away. And he goes, that's okay, I'll just order more from Santa on Amazon. And I was like, it was the last straw of 4 days. So I'm just sobbing, and I was like, my dad, like, whatever. And then Henry brings me this picture of my dad, and he goes, it's okay, I miss my friend dead Grandpa Bert too. And then I just started bawling harder.
Yeah.
And Maggie,
I get it.
Maggie was crying on the couch because she saw me crying.
Yeah.
And then she came in, she goes, I was praying for you, Dad. And I was like,
God.
boy, it's so bad that it was like, in It's a Wonderful Life when Jimmy Stewart has his full on emotional breakdown towards the end, and he comes home and he like throws stuff. He's like, you ever play the piano and you stop on that dang thing?
That's Catherine and I watched that.
I hate this old house.
We watch that movie every year, and that's our favorite scene is when he comes in and he's super pissed. He's like, why do we have to have all these kids?
Yeah.
This drafty old house.
She's like on the piano.
Yeah, the kids are
He's like,
so sweet.
Dad,
and
will
he's
you
just,
help me with my homework? And she's like, the pedals are like, get all, it's just,
you're gonna catch a cold. Let me call that teacher.
and he's kind of unshaven. When you see that movie as an adult, an adult who's been through adult shit, it really hits different. It hits hard.
I am hesitant to even say it, is we watch that movie every year. It's a tradition. I'm sure it is for many people. I think the past 3 to 4 years, I've cried every time.
Yeah.
Ever since, once you have kids, I'm just like, why does this movie, I'm such a softie now.
Yeah.
Like, I cry every time we watch that freaking movie.
It's so heavy, though.
Yeah.
It's not being a softie. When I saw it as a kid, I kind of had a memory of it sort of like Home Alone. Like, as a child, you see Home Alone, and it's all the fun and games section. It's all the pranks.
Yeah.
It's all that stuff. I watched as an adult. It's like the last 20 minutes of the movie. All of the rest of
So
Home
much of
Alone
the movie,
is
yeah.
setting up this deep character stuff of the mom and her, like, screwing up and missing her favorite son and all these things, and him not wanting to be a part of this family. And I was bawling during Home Alone. And as a kid, you see, It's a Wonderful Life. You remember them like dancing on the pool. You remember the comedic. There's so many great comedic
but you kind of
things in
remember it being kind of a boring movie with some funny parts, right?
Yeah. An old man Cotter, and the grandpa or the Uncle Billy.
Yeah, with the
he's-
crow.
Yeah, and he's got the thing on his finger, and it's like, it's silly. And then you grow up, and you're like, there's a run on the bank. You also relate to the sacrifice that he's made of this guy whose character his whole life is like, I'm giving to this. I'm staying home because my brother went to war. Over and over, he's sacrificing until finally, and he gets married, he gets the kids, he has all these things, but he's stuck in this town, but he's, the richest man in town, and then when he loses everything and he says, I wish I was never born. Jesus. I mean, Who hasn't, who hasn't related to that in some way?
I think once you have kids, right, you definitely relate to that movie. Because, I mean, anybody who has kids, like, you sacrifice a ton for your children every day. It's not like these huge sacrifices, that you even think about. It's just every single day of your life, just your time all day long is like, oh, yeah, you finish your day of work and then you have another job to do until you go to bed, right? It's like, oh, I finished my regular job and now I have to take care of these children until they go to bed. And then I have to get things ready for tomorrow for them. It's just sacrifice after sacrifice.
And it's a thankless job.
Oh, totally.
And they're assholes.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
But I mean, so when you watch that movie, you do relate to the sacrifice so much, right? Where you're just like, yeah, it's a great movie. It's a heavy ass movie.
I mean, I bawl my eyes out at that. Yeah. And not to keep tying it back to my dad, but like, when he died and we had his funeral, he was like the richest man in town. That we expected like 50 people there. There were over 400 people. Yeah. They were lined up to the back of the funeral home, like trying to get in. They had to bring out screens so people could watch it. And all these people were telling stories of like how they had nothing. And my dad bought him a car. My dad got him groceries. He was like, he didn't tell anybody about the stuff he was doing. And we were so poor. I mean, welfare. Powdered milk, like you would think it was the Great Depression. And then it comes around and he kind of hit his stride and they became like middle class, upper middle class, and he kind of died at his peak. But it's like, it really hits you. My dad, rest in peace, he did despise the Obamas so much that he taught his dog to not accept a treat if he said this is from Barack Obama.
How did he teach his dog to do that?
I don't know. There's a video. I'll show it to you.
A video showing that the dog won't take the treat?
My dad go and watch this and he'll go, this is from Dad. And the dog, Jasper, takes it. They're both dead. My dad's dogging him. This is from Mom. And the dog comes and gets the treat. And then he goes, this is from Barack Obama, and the dog yelps and runs away. And he'll go, why not? It's from Barack Obama.
Now
take from others to give away. And then he'll go, but this one's from Dad. And the dog comes back in the room.
Now, I love your dad, right?
Yeah.
He's great. We got along splendidly.
Yeah.
I am concerned about how he trained the dog to do this action. I'm envisioning shock collars or sticks involved.
I wouldn't put it past.
So I don't want to besmirch the deceased, but
but it was funny.
My youngest son, who's 5, he still wears pull-ups at bedtime, right? So he's, been potty trained for, a couple of years now. I don't remember exactly when, but he does have trouble at night, right? Wetting the bed still. And so we tried it a couple times to just go straight to underwear, and it was like, no. We talked to the pediatrician. She was like, boys, like, always take longer. Like, don't worry. Like, he's 5. Like, this is not a big deal. Like, he'll grow out of it by the time he's 6 or 7 or whatever. We're like, okay. So we have nighttime underwear forms, what we call it. They're pull-ups, right?
Yeah.
We ran out of them like last week, 2 weeks ago. I can't remember when. And so I run over to Costco to grab them. Like, Catherine's like, we got one left. Like, you got to go today. So I'm like, okay, run over to Costco. And all they have are like the Disney princess versions of them, right? It's got, like Belle or Jasmine or something on there. And so I text Catherine, I'm like, all they have are like these Disney princess. She's like, get them. We need them. I'm like, he is never going to go for this.
This is a great idea.
Like 100% he's not going to go for this. And she's like, no, who cares? It's fine. He won't even think about it. He won't. I'm like, you're crazy. He is for sure going to notice this. Yeah. And so we kind of have this back and forth. Just I'm text messaging in Costco, right? And I'm just like, God damn it. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll just get him, right? So I grab him. I'm checking out. I come home. I like leave him in the garage. I'm like, I'm not bringing these in, right? So it comes time for bedtime. He's taking a bath. Catherine's like, where are they? I was like, they're in the garage. She's like, okay. So she goes and grabs them. And she's like, don't say. I'm like, I'm not going to say anything, right? Like, I don't want to taint the experiment here, right? So she gets them. She brings them in the room. She doesn't say anything. Like, we're just getting ready for bed. And she like gives them the pair to put on. And he's like, what are those? And she's like, what? They're just your nighttime underwear. And he goes, what's on them? And she's like, it's just like Disney characters. And he goes, why is it 2 girls? And she's just like, I don't know. It's just like different ones. And he's like, are there different ones? And she goes, no, they're all like the same pattern. He's like, I don't want those. He like his spidey sense immediately. He's like, absolutely not. So they have this back and forth. He's super upset about it. He does it. Right. But then when I'm putting him to bed that night, like after we do kind of our regular bedtime routine, I'm like checking him in. He's like, I don't want to wear these again. So the next day, now I'm in a bind, right? Because I'm like, we had this conversation after Catherine's got, she went to the other room and he's like, don't ever make me wear these again. Yeah. Right. And Catherine's already told me, like, it doesn't matter. She's like, what are you like? You need to check your boomerness or something at the door, right? Like,
wait, to you or
yeah,
her?
To me. When I was like, he's not going to go for this. She was like, you're being a little like, you need to be a little more progressive here. I'm just
I would have been like, you want to act like a fucking pussy and be in the bed? Then you're going to wear girl undies.
I did think about that, but I was like, that's obviously not my parenting style. I would have
been like, this is a perfect trauma situation to really shame him into not bedwetting.
The thing is, with like going like peeing in the middle of the night, like he doesn't even know. That's why when I talked to the pediatrician about it, she's like, he has no control. She's like, he's dead asleep. He hasn't. It's not a matter of him trying. No,
I
harder.
still take Henry. Yeah. When I get home from work at night, I'll take him around 11 o'clock because he just can't hold it. He'll be in a deep sleep. Like, and then it's like, do you want to do you know how much laundry that is?
Oh yeah.
Like I've had the entire morning of washing all his bedding. It's an hour and a half, hanging him up, throwing them back in, layers and layers. We have that mattress, like it could go to space, that mattress. There's so much shit on it. There's so much, so many things zipped up and it still will go through it.
It's 15 layers of like waterproof things. None of them work.
We had him fully trained. And then when we did this whole Disney World trip with my family, we're staying in an Airbnb and I was like, I don't want to roll the dice on these. They don't have a mattress covers and stuff. So we put them back in the pull-ups night undies. Yeah. And it fucked up 6 months. Yeah. We had to get back on it,
So I mean, I'm with you. Yeah. We tried it for like 2 weeks with him and it was just like, this just isn't, he hasn't the slightest clue. He wakes up, he's like, I'm as surprised as you are. Like, I have no idea what happened, Does
sometimes he still wake up dry?
Sometimes, but I feel like it's just kind of happenstance.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
So back to my story. Sorry. Yeah. So next day I'm like, what am I going to do here? So I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm going to return these things to Costco.
You fucker. You're the fucking king of returning shit to Costco. Remember with your dog and you kept returning all those
It's a different story. It's a different story. I do not want to get the lawyers at Costco
they
alerted
to
this.
Will.
Yes, I do have a long history of Costco returns. Brandon, I am a strong Costco purchaser. They have made millions of dollars from me over the years. I do take advantage of their return policy. I don't abuse it, but I do take advantage of it. So where we live, there's multiple Costco's around here. So I'm like, I'm going to go to the other Costco and see if they have the Spider-Man nighttime underwear. So I go to the other Costco and I take these and I'm just, I go to the woman at the return counter and I just go, hey, I just level with her. I'm like, hey, I got these for my son. My wife's like, it'll be fine. And he was not going for it. And she was like, oh yeah, for sure. She's like, we have the Spider-Man ones. She was like, it's fine. I was like, we used one of them. She was like, yeah, go exchange them.
You set the piss soaked one on the counter.
I felt very like vindicated because I'm like, the Costco, return woman, she gets it. Yeah. She seemed progressive, Yeah. She didn't tell me I was a boomer. So I'm like, okay.
Also, boomer, you're not.
I know. I'm 45. Like, take it
easy.
You're
Gen X. You're not even Gen X. You're after Gen X.
I'm like between the two. I don't fucking know. I was born in 79. Yeah. So she's like, yeah, it's fine. We're exchange them. So I go get the Spider-Man ones and I give them their Disney Princess ones back. I bring them home. I just put them in the closet. I don't say anything to Catherine. I just like put them in there where we keep them. So, no difference. It's like a couple nights go by and then she finally notices, she puts the underwear on and one night she grabs me. She goes, did you fucking return the Disney Princess underwear and get the Spider-Man ones? I go, yeah, I did. She was like, those are going to end up in some goddamn landfill that, I was like, they're not going to end up like they'll donate them to someone, right? Like it's fine. So we kind of had this back and forth about it. She definitely made me feel like I was, being too, I don't know, like I wasn't being progressive
Wasteful?
enough. Well, not just wasteful, but that like I was like, am I like projecting on him that like, you don't fucking wear Disney princess underwear, you wear Spider-Man underwear, right? You're a man, right? I'm like, I don't think I was just like, he's 5.
It sounds like she's got a lot of issues. I love your wife, but I think she's got to go.
I don't. She's gonna hear this, Brandon.
She's too much.
She's gonna hear this.
It's that she had a problem with the Disney stuff, and then she has a problem with you returning them. What is she, fucking Moby?
I don't know. I mean, she presents good. I mean, here's. I mean, this is a real spinoff, but here's the issue with marrying an attorney: is you lose every argument, and it's not because you're wrong. It's just because she's a professional arguer. This is her job, is to win arguments, right? So it's like 8 out of 10 times I'm like, I should win this argument, but I'm not going to, because you do this for a living. There's no way.
You should have married a really bad personal injury lawyer.
I'm just like, this isn't fair. Like, I don't get to bust out my profession in the middle of an argument to win it. Like, I can't grab a guitar and be like, let me play you this song about why I'm right.
I think you should.
I mean, frankly. It's an idea.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, you get to fucking bust out your lawyer skills and win every argument. So she can take any stance she wants and she will win. But I'm like, I got to tell Brandon about this and see if I was off base on this one. I was like,
no, I mean, the kids are going to do what they want. I mean, I hate them, but also I think you do have that opportunity of like, I mean, I'm dark. I would have been like, this is all they have. They're all out of nighttime undies forever. This is all it is. Disney princesses.
Tough love.
So you better make sure that you wake up and go pee-pee when you need to, or you're going to be wearing a dress.
I mean, that's one move.
Yeah.
That did occur to me, but I was like, absolutely not. Like,
it never works.
No.
I've tried it. The thing I learned recently is anytime you give an ultimatum to your kids, that you have to follow through on, it's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
And I did that, as I was talking earlier of Henry with his trains. I didn't say, to fact check, I didn't say, I'm taking these away. I said, I'm throwing them out. I'm throwing all of your Christmas or your birthday presents out.
Yeah.
I said, you can clean this up, or I'm going to throw them all out. And I went through all these precious gifts my mom sent from Portugal and these expensive things. And he goes, you can throw them out. I'll just get new ones.
You painted yourself into a corner.
And I painted myself in this corner thinking that this dumb 4-year-old is going to never be like, let me do the math on this. Yeah. You know, he doesn't have empathy yet. He does not have empathy yet.
No,
they don't. You have to teach it. They learn it. And it's a very frustrating thing because you're like sobbing, or they punch a kid in the eye and you're like, you almost blinded them. Like, he hit a kid in the face with a block at school deliberately. Yeah. And he had no remorse for it. And it was so frustrating for me and scary because I was like, is this Jeffrey Dahmer? You know, because he was just like, it's okay.
No, that's just how they are.
You have to teach it. Maggie's 6.
They learn it.
She's learning empathy. She really is. And she's very like in tune to, you know, emotion. She's still a jackass and she's a 6-year-old, but you kind of see it, whereas he's just like a blank slate. You know what I mean? So anytime I've been like, I got an idea. What if I do this and I say the world's going to end tomorrow and your whole family's going to set themselves on fire if you don't finish your fish sticks? He'll be like, okay, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have had that conversation where it's like, you do not make the threat unless you are 100% willing to follow through with it, because you never know when they're going to call you out and just go like, no, I'm not going to do that.
So I'll repeat it over. I'm going to take them away for a while. We'll see, or whatever. Instead of like, you're not getting your pad. You know, it's like you sound like I sound like the parents in the 90s TV shows.
Sure.
Of just like, you're not going on the skiing trip.
Yeah.
In Aspen for graduation or whatever.
You don't sound like your parents. You sound like 90s TV show parents.
Rich parents.
Yeah, rich parents with money.
Or lower middle class people who could go skiing in the 90s. You know? Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, that's my story about the nighttime underwear. I hope it was entertaining.
It was great.
Thanks.
I bedwet till I was 7, I think.
Okay. You remember?
I remember it because I wasn't doing it. I'm sure there are times I was doing it by accident, but I remember it vaguely, foggy memories of like, we were in Michigan. It was freezing cold. I'm sure there are times where they didn't pay the heating bill or the heat was just so low that I was so cold in the windows, we're so old, of just being freezing that I'd kind of be in that in-between state and wake up and I'd pee on purpose just to get warm. and then inevitably it would turn freezing ice, and I'd cry or whatever. And my mom would come in, and I remember her being so frustrated doing the laundry. And I've said the same thing to Henry. I mean, total flashbacks of me doing the laundry and being like, Henry, God damn it. And it's like, oh, this was my mom. Like, I'm my mom. I remember her just like loading it into the washer and being like, this is just too much, bub.
Sure.
You too old to be doing this. And then they took me to this. My mom does sound like that. She sounds like a Southern black woman.
Yes.
Get used to it.
Yeah.
As you will hear in the Sidney Poitier.
Yeah. When you first started doing your impression of your mom to me, before I met her, I had a very different picture of her in my head than when I actually met her. And she's like a very slight Caucasian woman. Yeah. But your impression of her, I mean, it does not depict her well.
It doesn't. It sounds like a racist, let's be honest. It sounds like I'm doing a racist impression of the trope of a mammy.
Yes.
And this is how my mom sounds.
Sure.
She sounds like the maid from Gone with the Wind. This is just how she sounds. And I went through her history to understand this because everybody was like, there's no way your mom sounds like this. Then they would come over to my house. She'd meet you and she'd talk very like, hello, John. How you doing? Very nice. Mm-hmm. You'd leave and she'd go, what's that guy's deal, that John guy? Now he played music. You think he know Donny Osmond? And this is what she sounds like. But the long and short story is that she was abandoned by her mother when she was very young. She was raised by her neighbors who were an African-American family. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of black families from the South who came up, descendants of sharecroppers, to work in the auto industry in Michigan. And she would move around and moved in with some of her relatives who were also from the South. So she just has this voice. Irregardless, I lost my train of thought when I was talking about my mom. Oh, so my parents, they met, somebody who knew somebody, and they were like, we're dealing with Bub's bedwetting. So they went to some therapist, I don't know what, because they didn't believe in science or psychology. But this guy told them to have me write every night, I will wake up dry every morning. I will wake up dry every morning. Standards. And I did it. I had to do 100 times and it worked. I mean, and now I just shit the bed.
Do you think this is like some revisionist history, or like maybe you did that for months before you finally...
It could have been months. Right? And they probably beat the shit out of me.
Sure.
I probably blocked out all the abuse, the physical abuse. And they're like, that's all it was. We just had you write it down. I did throw that shoe at your ass.
Yeah. Catherine's parents, they... I forget which one it was. It was either Catherine's mom or dad. She was saying that when they would wet the bed when they were kids, their parents would wash the bed linens and they'd hang them out in front of the house. And so they would like to embarrass them. Right. Oh, so then like their friends and the neighbors would know like, oh, they wet the bed again last night. And so they try to run home from school as fast as they could to get the linens inside before their friends could see it.
Like a scarlet letter. We got a fucking pizza out here. Fucking bedwetters.
I'm like, this seems like spurious. Like, did they really do this?
Yeah, it also, I feel like you could also be like, and then if the girls got their period too early, they would hang their bloody sheets out in front of the house. Or so there's like a Stephen King. Oh, I mean, maybe they're children's sheets. I'm picturing white sheets, which I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of connotations. It blows off and it goes on a little pine tree. It looks like the KKK is out front of your house or something.
In my mind, when they tell this story, I'm like, oh, it's definitely white sheets. That's what I picture, right? With like a big yellow stain on it, right? So the neighbors can see it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this seems ridiculous. So anyway.
That's a generation of public shaming. Like I remember when, and I don't know what the answer is to this. I mean, I did the podcast on Michael Jackson's criminal case, and we talked a lot about child molestation. But I remember in the 90s, I feel like maybe it existed before, but I felt like it was a big thing where it was like, if somebody was a pedophile and they got out of prison, they had to go door to door and be like, hey, my name's John. I live in the neighborhood. I just got out of jail. I live over on this street. Don't, whatever you do, don't. I mean, it's so crazy to me.
I mean, I'm remembering this scene from like Big Lebowski, where the Jesus had to like walk around a house to house. Which they do.
I love that scene because there's no response. He's just telling the story, and they silently see. He's like, yeah, man, he had to go door to door. And they just show him kind of go up, and he looks up. And then there's like a big fat white guy with like a wife beater on, and he doesn't say anything and just kind of looks at him. You don't see the exchange, which I'm sure they filmed. But yeah, there was, all the time, like I would hear these, and my dad would just be like, yeah, they're making these guys have to go door to door, like a scarlet letter. And that's what they get. I make my dad sound like he's good at fellas, but he was just more like, well, that's what it is. Public shaming. That's the way to deter crime. Just like with in Singapore. Remember how they had that big story of the kid in the 90s who was like a rich expat white kid, and his family lived in Singapore, and he was tagging cars, and they caned him.
Oh, yeah. I remember this.
And it was like a big to-do for months, where the news was like, the big caning is, this has to be, somebody's got to do a long-form documentary on
this. Because it was captured the attention of the nation.
Of the Western world. They were like, what,
They're going to cane him.
Are they going to do it? And I remember seeing 2020, and they'd be like, we hired this Japanese samurai to show you how hard a cane hits. And he'd be like, and he'd smash a watermelon like fucking Gallagher with a cane, and everybody's like, oh my God. And that's going to be his butt cheeks, and it was just like, is there going to be a diplomatic intervention or whatever? And my dad was just like, well, that's what you get. It was the early like play stupid games, win stupid prizes thing.
Oh, totally.
Of just like, you molest a kid, who knows?
You got to go door to door.
I'm like, what if a guy shoots him in the face? What if he gets beat up? That's the choice you make when you have a civilized society. And then it was like, we would be driving around. I don't know if they published it in the paper or whatever, but we're like little kids, and they're just like, after church, we'd go like driving around to look at houses. We'd go to the nice neighborhood, and my mom would be like, ooh, I like the windows on that one. Ooh, Burtis, look at that porch. Give me a house like that. And my dad would be like, there's a pedophile in that house. He raped a 3-year-old. Yeah. And you're just like, oh, okay. I'll make sure to not go trick-or-treating there.
This was pre-internet. Your dad didn't have like the Megan's Law website. He had like his own map, I feel like.
He had little
pins.
A Zagat.
Yeah. He pulled out the Thomas guide, and he's like, oh, that's where the pedo lives.
Well, I remember like I remember they did that short in Chicago, unmarked white van, and there was like early internet, and they had like I don't know if it was Megan's Law or what, but you could search, and it popped. I put in my zip code. It's everywhere.
They're everywhere. Yeah.
It's like, who knows how accurate it is? I just feel like it's like streets, and it's just like pins. And I'm like, we're surrounded by sex offenders. If this is accurate.
Yeah.
But also everything could be not everything, but it's like some of these people, they just go pee in a playground. Like, who has it when you're walking late at night as a teenager or whatever? And then somebody gets cited, and it's like, well, technically you're a sex offender now. You peed at a playground at night. You can't live anywhere.
This is a big deal. This is all a tangent, right? But Catherine deals with this a lot in her job, where it's just like, where she'll be defending somebody. And that's one of the big things that's on the table a lot, which is like, if they're going to plead out or, something where it's like, will they have to register as a sex offender?
Yeah.
That's like a big sticking point.
Because he can't get a job.
Well, they'll do time served, they'll do this, but like, we don't want him to have to register as a sex offender, or it's like, they're gonna have to. It's like, that's because
they can't get a job. They can't hardly move anywhere because there's all this zoning stuff to it.
It's a huge deal if somebody has to register as a sex offender or not.
Thanks for listening to our advocate for sex offenders podcast. It's really hard for them. Anyway, it's a good spot to
Oh my God.
Candace Owens is advocating for Harvey Weinstein. We're over here. Let's change the zoning.
First they came for the sex offenders, Brandon.
Yeah.
No one stood up for them except for us.
In Germany in
All right. And we're going to take a break now.
Yeah.
I think it was last weekend. we were on vacation. And then one of the days we were like, all right, we were in these cottages on the beach.
Yeah.
But one of the days it was kind of rainy and we're like, hey, let's go to the movies. Like, it's kind of fun to go to movies when you're on vacation with kids.
It's my favorite. What's my favorite thing to go to the movies out of town?
Yeah. There's something about it, right? It just feels like you're getting away with something, right?
Well, then you walk out and you're like, oh my God, I'm in New York.
Yeah.
You forget.
It's not like you have to go back to your normal life, right? You're on vacation. It's so much fun. So we like to do that with the kids sometimes. So we were at these cottages. It was kind of rainy. We're like, hey, let's go to the movies. And I was like, what's playing? It's one of those times where I'm like, I have no idea if there's even any kids movies out right now. And so one of the things we had seen was this A24 preview for The Legend of Ochi, I think. It's A24. So many, like, it's just like, it's an A24 movie, but it's a kid's movie and it's live action.
Okay.
Right? So the kids are 5 and 8, right? And we're like, okay, like, I showed them the preview and they're like, yeah, like, let's go. They were game. So I'm like, okay. So we go to the movie and it starts up and I'm like, is this like a movie from Norway or something? Like, you can tell right away. It's like the lighting looks like Midsommar or something, right? Like,
God.
The color palette and stuff. You're like, this is not like a kids movie.
Yeah.
But like the content, you're like, okay, there's nothing inappropriate, but I mean the pacing, and you're just like, this feels like something from the 80s, right? And there's some levity in it, but also there's just the way they're speaking and just the tone of it and the color of it. And I'm like, I don't know if these kids are going to fucking go for this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I look at them a couple times. I'm like, you guys liking this? And I'm like, it's all right. But they were kind of willing to stick it out. But, about halfway through the movie, I lean over to Catherine. I'm like, this is definitely the most like adult movie they have ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's that adult, it's PG, right? But it's just that the tone and content is not what we're used to. It's not Super Mario Brothers, right? This is not Minecraft. This is a different thing.
Well, it's a different pace too, because all those movies are engineered for kids. Joke, 3-second joke, emotional moment. Then you get to a European art house 80s style kids movie by A24.
Yeah, and it's not even like, oh, it's like E.T. It's like, oh no, E.T. is a laugh riot compared to this, right? Like, the pacing is so slow.
Was it like a Norwegian movie that they dubbed over or something?
No, it's like American. It's like one of the kids from Stranger Things is in it, right? But you are like, this movie was definitely shot in another country.
Yeah.
It feels like they got American actors to star in like a movie in Sweden or something.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, I mean, I was just thinking about it as we were watching this and I was just like, man, this is the most adult movie they've ever seen. And they sat through the whole thing. I was glad we saw it in a theater because there's no way they would have sat through this at home.
They had to be trapped.
Right. They had to be trapped. They had to have popcorn. They had to have ices. Right. They had to have the whole rigmarole, right, in order to get through this thing. But yeah, I was just thinking about when you were watching it and I was just like, man, this is just so different from the types of movies. And I remember seeing movies like that a lot when I was a kid.
I think movies got faster, though.
Totally.
The attention got faster, the attention spans of kids, all those things. Like we looked at our feet all the time. You know what I mean? We'd go to the bathroom and as adults and just like read the shampoo bottle, but I think the kids are used to like the entertainment they have now is snap, 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 snap. The commercials, all the things, I think that's what changed it. I feel like, we would watch slow.
We would just watch what was on,
you
right?
just watch what was on TV.
We
this
sound
is on
like
TV.
Old men, and we're like, what was on?
There's a box. You had no control over the box.
Turn on TBS. Maybe there's a movie that's halfway into it, right?
I mean, I think like growing up too, I felt that everything was real that was on TV. Like every movie, every show. I didn't have the language for it, but I thought that they were documentaries. Like I remember one of the first like current movies that I saw at the time, because in the religious cult we could only watch like old timey stuff.
Yeah, it's important to preface you were raised in a religious cult. I was raised in a religious
cult. And like TV was bad, but occasionally like, we would hear like my mom was like, well, the pastor's wife watches more TV than anybody. That's what I hear. But, we could only watch certain things. We weren't supposed to watch TV, but we'd go over to relatives' houses and I saw like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Great movie.
I mean, it's great, but it was, I got nightmares, not just because it was scary, but I thought it was 100% real. I thought that a camera crew was going around and filming this adventure in snake pits who's fighting these Nazis to get, what's he trying to get at the end of that?
The Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail. Yeah.
You thought Sean Connery was Harrison Ford's father.
I thought for real. Yeah. And then I thought there were these like continuations. And I kind of get that too. Like when Maggie was little, the first live action movie she saw was Home Alone. And when she was like 2 years old, we'd go to a park and there'd be like a homeless guy with a beard. And she'd point at him and scream, "Home Alone, scary guy!" And the guy was like, and I was like,
a good dad.
But like thinking, like one of the movie stars that I grew up with was Sidney Poitier or Poitier, and my mom was like obsessed with him, and we would watch.
Your mom was obsessed with.
She
Sidney
just thought
Poitier.
thought he was the greatest actor in the world.
Okay,
and
he's a good actor.
And she would tell us, if Dad dies, I'm going to marry Sidney Poitier. You know, he likes white women. He got a white girlfriend. He got a white wife. And we'd be
she
like,
did her research.
You know, we're little. We're like, okay. And I thought that everything Sidney Poitier was in that I saw was real and in order. So I was like, we watched Lilies of the Field. I'm like, oh, yeah, this guy, Sidney. My mom would just be like, oh, Sidney. He, you know, built this nunnery and taught them gospel music. And then he went to Great Britain and became a teacher. And to Sir Wood Levin, he taught these like rapscallion British kids. And then he became a police officer in the segregated South as Mr. Tibbs, you know. And
like, this guy's got a lot of hats.
These are just the camera crews follow him around. And then he's going to eventually come and marry my mother when my dad dies. But my dad got him to call our house on my mom's birthday when we were little.
Wait, so your dad got Sidney Poitier to call your house. This was pre like Cameo, right?
This is like
you were in the
original Cameo.
The 80s or early 90s.
Early 80s, mid 80s.
Yeah.
We're home. It was some night. I just remember like my dad being like, nobody touch the phone. Nobody pick
the landline,
the landline. Do not pick up. Nobody make a phone call, you know. And the phone rings and my little sister picks it up like we always were taught. Ogborn residence, Rebecca speaking, may I help you?
Yes.
And my little sister goes, Mom, it's Sidney Poitier. And she goes, oh, y'all stop messing around. And she gets on the phone and she's like, huh? What? No. You playing. And then she starts asking him all these. She knows everything about him, where he was born in the Bahamas, what year. She starts asking him all this stuff. She's on the phone with him for an hour.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And what happened was, it was like a week after her birthday, and I guess like a full year before, my dad went to some library. He went through like there was a book of like fan clubs, whatever. He wrote Sidney Poitier a letter. My wife, Kathy's obsessed with you. She knows you're into white women. After I die, you need to marry her. Whatever. He put in a check for like long distance. And
how much was a check for?
$1.32. I don't know what it was. We were
some amount that he thought was appropriate.
Put in an S&H green stamp.
Yeah.
And he called her like a week after. I guess Sidney Poitier was like, he told her, like, she was like, he said he tried to call me on his birthday, but he was in Africa with Quincy Jones. So he called me today.
Checks out.
We were like, all right. So yeah.
So he called her.
He called her. And they started having phone sex in front of it. No. But it was strange because like, as cool as it was, I wasn't like the movie star. I was like, this guy's gonna. I was like, my dad's a cuck.
Yeah, like, Dad,
Dad's all for it, setting her up with this guy who I've seen on the TV.
My world is crashing around me.
Who's obviously got way more jobs than my dad.
Sure,
who's selling life insurance.
There's
on
no
commission
documentary
only.
crews following my dad around.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I mean, how old were you when this happened?
I'd have to fact check it. I feel like
What's your memory?
My memory was I was probably like 5 or 6.
Oh, you were very young.
Yeah, I was definitely very young, but it could have been a little younger or a little older. I feel like anything between 5 and 12, I'm like, who knows?
Well, you said your sister answered the phone, right? How much younger is she than you?
She's 2 years older than me almost.
Oh, Rebecca's 2 years older than you. Okay, so she would have been, if you were 5 or 6, she would have been 7 or 8.
Yeah,
then.
that checks out.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Right? Wow, I can't believe your dad pulled this off.
I mean, he
back
pulled
in the
off
80s.
some stuff.
Like, he wrote to Sidney Poitier. He sent him an undisclosed amount of money. I'm sure the fan book at the library didn't say, if you want him to call your wife on her birthday, send in $29.99.
You know, the thing
he just decided how much to send.
But I always like, there's one, okay. There's one black guy at our church.
Okay.
Brother Andrew Wortham.
Okay. The church you grew up in.
The church I grew up in, the cult. Very charismatic. He got me into Christian rap, and he was pretty close with their family. He'd come and go, and I'd kind of see him. There's a lot of tragedy in his life, but every now and then we'd run into each other, and he'd be like, "What's up, Bubba?" And I'd be like, "Brother Wortham." And when my dad died, I was like, there were so many people from that old church that came to the funeral, and they'd be like, "Guess who I am? Remember me?" And they all looked the same because all the women had like long dresses and hair up in a bun, and they looked 60 years old when they were 30, you know? So I was like, I have no idea.
I'm imagining like a Mormon aesthetic. Is that correct?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
Or like Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
That's Mormon, right?
Or, no, sorry, not Mormon, Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, okay, yeah.
JW.
Yeah.
But I did kind of like have this idea of like, what if Brother Wortham showed up at the funeral, and if he was just like, "Man, your dad was great. I remember one time he had me call your house acting like I was Sidney Poitier for an hour."
He was just like,
"Don't tell your mom.
Don't ever tell your mom. She'll be brokenhearted." Wow. I mean, that's a great story, man. Do your siblings have memories of this too?
Well, Becky would. My little sister, I don't think she wasn't born yet.
You guys never spoke of it again?
No, I mean, it was always a thing. I remember on a birthday for my mom recent before my dad passed, I made her a whole book about it. Sure. Like a little, like a Canva Etsy kind of book about it, and, made light of it. But it was also like a testament, just like how sweet my dad was.
He's very sweet. He's very thoughtful. I mean, so have you been showing your children Sidney Poitier movies now? Yeah,
I was like, Grandma's got a thing for black guys. Listen, They're Fine is produced and edited by Wyatt Gray. Original music by John Ahern. John's Instagram is @JohnAhernMusic. And you can find my inappropriate parenting on Instagram @Bubba Ogborn. You can also find our recommendations linked in the show notes. If you have feedback or topic suggestions, our show email is listenthey'refine@gmail.com. And our TikTok and Instagram handles are @ListenThey'rFine. If you made it this far without calling Child Protective Services on us, please leave us a 5-star review. It helps other questionable parents find us. Share the chaos, tell a friend, tell your therapist, tell anyone who needs to feel better about their own parenting choices. Hit subscribe so you never miss an episode.